What breaks my heart? Not being able to provide for my son. Why is that important to me? I don't even want to. I don't even want to answer that because it will make me cry. And I promised that in this episode I was not going to cry. I was going to tell my story and now we were going to skate off into the sunset. So yeah, I'm not going to go deeper. Good morning. I pray your day is off to an amazing start. I know mine is. You have just logged on for your free consultation with me, Dewana Lewis. So we are about to dive in to your free consultation for today. But first, I want to address the obvious. Okay, so the first 3 episodes was done on a different set, and now I have a new set. Why, you may ask? Because I moved. So, originally, when I first launched the podcast, I had a set and it was set up in my office. And so, it was becoming hard to film because of my schedule. So, I either need to film early in the morning, late at night, around that time. And it was not good to be up there early in the morning like that by myself. And it wasn't good to be there. Not that it's in a bad neighborhood or anything. It's just a woman out late at night or while it's just still dark. It just was not a good idea. Shelt did not like that. So he helped me to set up a set at home, which was good. And it helped me to get through those episodes. But then I moved. So we're at a new place and I love it. And so we had to rebuild. And this is the rebuild. And I really love it. I really, really like it. I actually like it better than the last one. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Do you like the new set? Yes or no? Or you like the old one? Either way, this is what you're going to get. But I do want to know what you think. So, anyway, I want to go ahead and jump right in because today we are talking about your why. If I no, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and recap because last week well, I'm not I'm going to go ahead and recap because last episode we talked about the brand story. We actually reviewed, we went through it, we got into the nitty gritty, the meat part of it. And so this time, today, we want to talk about the why, which kind of goes hand in hand with your brand story. And I thought that it would be great to explain what your why is by telling you my why. Now, the reason why it's important to even have a why is because business is going to get hard. It's going to get chaotic. It's going to get just difficult to a place where you're not going to want to do this anymore. And once you get to that place, you have to remind yourself why you're even doing this in the first place. And when you do that, you bring yourself back and you say, okay, all right, I can keep going because you understand why you're doing what you do. And so I would like to say, well, I would like to start my why story in 2019. So up until that time, I would say about 6 years, up into it be about 6 years up into 2019, I had been working and I was surviving off of one why, which was to close the gap between small businesses, small minority owned businesses, and the white businesses online. There was a very big gap when it came to digital presence of small minority owned businesses. I saw that and it was my passion to close that gap and to make sure that those businesses saw or they were had a presence online. And it was like pulling teeth. It was so hard to explain why it was so important for them to be online, but I was passionate about it and I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and this was my why. 2019 hit. I was living in South Florida and I got pregnant. And it was a little girl, and I was elated because up until that time, me and Shel, we just had resolved that we weren't going to have any kids. We were just going to just kind of be rich auntie, uncle, and just go through life and just travel and, just make money and just have a good time. We had set our mind on that. And I found out I was pregnant and just everything changed for me. I was so happy. I was working. I was really like locked in on working and I just didn't slow down. And something happened and I went into labor early. I was 5 months and I went into labor early. My cervix just gave out on me, actually. I'm not going to just say something happened, but yeah, my cervix just gave out and I went into labor. And she was not ready for the outside world, and we ended up losing her about about 30 minutes to an hour after she was born. It made me spiral out. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very sad and very broken and still was trying to do business. But the why that I had was just not enough after experiencing something so traumatic. I just did not have that passion for pulling teeth with people who just did not understand why it was important to be online. And honestly, guys, I would say that I just did not want to live anymore. And I was really actively trying to plot how I was going to make my exit because I just couldn't do it anymore. And it was very traumatic what happened. And I just didn't want to be here. And thank God for Shelp because he recognized where I was, and he also was not doing well either, but he did recognize how bad I was taking it, and he made sure that I didn't do anything crazy. It took some time for me to come out of that, but still I was working. I was really empty, and the work that I was producing was showing that, and I just really didn't have it in me to give anybody my best because I just didn't have top tier creativity or anything like that anymore. And like I said, that why was just out the door. I did not even care about these people, okay? I would say about 3 months later, after losing our daughter, I found out I was pregnant again. And it turned my whole world around because, like I said, before my daughter, we had resolved that we were not going to have any kids. And now we've had kids back to back. So we were just, you know, elated. We were happy. And I told God that if you allow me to carry to term, I am going to be the best person that I could possibly be for this child, for Schultz, for my family, for my community, for you, Lord. I will be the best person that I can do. I just want to carry this child to term. I want him to be born strong and healthy, and I want him to live a long life. I literally have that in my journal. And he was born. He was born healthy. He was born strong. And he, to this day, is just running around here. He's the smartest kid that I know. I know every parent says that. But seriously, he's a very brilliant kid. And he's going to live a very, very long and prosperous life. I know it. But he is my why. He is the reason why now I continue to push and push and push and grow and grow and grow. Not just the business, but myself and my family. He is my why. And not being able to provide for him is heartbreaking for me. It's one of those things that was gets me up in the morning to know like at any day somebody's going to say, "Oh, Rio needs a new pair of shoes. I never want to be in a position where I cannot get him a new pair of shoes, or I can't feed him, or I can't get whatever he needs. I can't keep the lights on for him, whatever. So that's my why. That's what keeps me going. And here's the funny part about all of that. So, the traumatic thing happened to me that was in 2019, right before the pandemic. My son was born, and not too long after he was born, maybe like a month or so, the world shut down. So now I'm getting all these calls from the people that I was trying to show the importance of them having the website and an online presence, and now they're getting it, and they're like, "Oh, I need a website. I need to this. I need to transfer everything online." Now you get it. Now you see what I was trying to do. Now you see the importance of it. And now yesterday's prices aren't today's prices. I got a bag. Let me tell you something. The bag came in. The bag came in over the pandemic, and I pushed and I worked my butt off. And the crazy thing about it was I was working my butt off, and I was a new mom, but I didn't skip a beat. I did not skip a beat. I gave my child all the attention that he needed. I breastfed. Was a good wife. I was just trying to do everything. I was trying to manage and also be a good designer and consultant and marketer for my clients. And because I had this little baby, I had a why and I had a reason to keep pushing. So I say all that to say, if I did not have that why, I probably would not be doing what I am doing today. I'm not sure if I would even be here today with how dark life had gotten for me. And I would say to you, after hearing my story, that you need to establish your why. You have to have that thing that wakes you up in the morning and gets you going. Saying that, hey, such and such pissed me off, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep trying to make this happen. Or the bank said no, but that's okay. I'm going to go to another bank and another bank until I hear the yes because of my why. So what is your why? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what your why is. Now, here's the reason why you should have a why, because not everybody has a why and probably never even thought about even having one, but here's why it's important. And I'm looking down here because I have notes and I don't want to skip anything. So number one, the reason why you want to have a why is because it keeps you on track. It definitely keeps you on track. It keeps you on track with your goals and your objectives. Hopefully, you have goals and objectives, but if you don't, we'll touch on that soon. But it will keep you on track. And number two, it helps you stay close to the original mission. It helps you stay close to the original mission. Now, I told you that my why was to close the gap in the digital space between the minority owned small businesses and that of the large corporations and white businesses or whatnot. And that's still a thing for me. So it's my mission now. It's not my why, if that makes sense. It switched from being my why to my mission. That's the change there. I didn't completely get rid of that. It's still a thing for me, but it's just more of a mission now. It also quiets things when business gets chaotic and confusing. I just recently experienced like 2 weeks full of just chaos and confusing and just not understanding what was going on with some of my clients. And I remembered what my why was because he ran through the door smiling, like, "Hi, mommy," and all that. So it was just like one of those things like, hey, step back, figure it out, and everything would be fine. And it quieted things. It's like, no, I'm not going to quit because they make me mad or they have me confused or I don't understand what's going on. That's not the case at all. It's just that I have to figure out how to make this work too and embrace the challenge. And it just changes your perspective when things get crazy. So the next thing that you're going to need is, I guess, just some points on how to find your why in case you don't have one. So I am a journaler, and I really suggest that you journal too if you don't. If you do, great. Here are some things that you can write down in your journal and address and help you find your why. What breaks your heart? I told you what breaks my heart. The idea of not being able to provide for my son breaks my heart. I cannot even begin to tell you. I get choked up a little bit when I think about not being able to get my son something or saying no to him about not, like, I cannot, that's not an option for me. That is not an option for me. So that breaks my heart. And if it is something that I can't get him, it actually has never been anything that I couldn't buy this kid. But I'm just saying, it, I know for without a shadow of a doubt, I would probably break down if I could not provide something for him. Next one is, what would you keep doing even if you weren't getting paid for it? What would you keep doing even if you weren't getting paid for it? I probably would I think I would just keep designing websites because I was doing that and not getting paid for it because I just wanted to get better, and it is therapeutic for me. So I probably would keep designing websites and not abandon that. Yeah, I would keep doing that. I'm in the right space. That question helps you to see if you are in your right space or not. Do you need to get paid or don't you need to get paid for this? For whatever it is that you're doing. If you need to get paid for it, maybe reevaluate if you're even doing the right thing in the first place. And the last thing is, what legacy do you want to leave behind? What legacy do you want to leave behind? I know that I want to leave behind a legacy of what it looks like to not give up on a dream, a legacy of being able to provide a company for my son and my nieces and my nephews to be able to come and work and not be subjected to all the outside stuff. Like, they always have a place to make money with me. It will always be a way that I will always provide a way for them to care for themselves. My son will have a ready position. If he chooses to work, he will have a ready position with me, or if not, just take over. But we will have a family business, and they will be able to always be able to care for themselves. Now, with these questions, I encourage you to go deeper. So you write your first question, what breaks your heart, right? And then the next after that, to go deeper, why is that important? So it's one of those things that I'm not going to go deeper with this, but what breaks my heart? Not being able to provide for my son. Why is that important to me? I don't even want to I don't even want to answer that because it will make me cry. And I promised that in this episode I was not going to cry. I was going to tell my story, and now we were going to skate off into the sunset. So yeah, I'm not going to go deeper, but just ask yourself after each question, why is that important? Okay? All right, cool. So I can't get out of here without doing housekeeping first. I keep bumping into this mic. It's going to be very interesting hearing the boom, 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 from me. Like, for, see, I just hit it again. So I can't stop this episode without doing the housekeeping. This episode is sponsored by Yes Ma'am Hosting.net. Yes Ma'am Hosting and Maintenance. It's a boutique style hosting company. You get one-on-one service from awesome customer service representatives. Once you sign up, you have one person that's going to walk with you and help grow your business and help answer any questions that you have. So you don't have to keep calling in and experiencing somebody new, or, hey, did you read my ticket? Like, you have one person. and that person is going to help you continue to grow your business. And yeah, so just log on to www.yesmamhosting.net. That's www.yesmamhosting.net. We are going to get into some really cool stuff coming down the line. I think we've got through, I don't even want to say hard part because it don't even get easier. But I'm saying we did get through that part where we have to look deep inside and understand what we're doing here, why we're doing it, our backstories, things of that nature. So yeah, we did what we were supposed to do, and now we're really gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're really gonna start doing some work. So I can't wait for our next consultation. I have to go because the little boy that I spoke about, my little Rio, I need to pick him up. So I love you guys. I love you. But remember, Jesus loves you, and I do too. Bye.